First, we will create company. From today, I'm going to tell you how you will maintain hospital accounting in Telegram. So first, we will create company. So I'm going to create hospital company accounting name. You have to create your hospital company name and your hospital complete address. And in state, you have to select your hospital registered state, then PIN code number, telephone number, mobile number, if you have fax number, email ID, website, fill all the information. And in financial year beginning from, if you are creating your company in financial year 1st April 2023, so select 1st April 2023 and save this screen. Now we will now you can see there is a company created, hospital company accounting. So from in this way you can also create hospital accounting company. First entry we will do whenever you go to hospital and for checkup or for test, so you consult doctor. So doctor charge consultancy charges for that. So whenever you receive consultancy charges, take test charges, any kind of charges, so you will mark that entry in receipt voucher. So select receipt voucher, and uh, this is the indirectly expenses for hospital accounting company. So by pressing Control C, we will create here some ledger. So how you will be create, I'm going to show you. If you go to doctor, so go doctor charge consultancy charges. So first we will create consultancy charges under group indirect income, as because doctor takes consultancy charges, hospital takes consultancy charges, and that is indirectly income for hospital. So consultancy charges will be credit with 3000, and if patient pay in cash, so cash will be debit. If patient pay in your hospital bank, so bank account will be debited. In narration you can mark this consultancy charges 3000 you have received for what, so you can mark in narration. So same likewise, if you receive consultancy charges or test charges, so you can create test charges ledger by pressing Control C here. And sometime doctor uh, prefer for test, so by pressing Control C, we will create lab test charges under indirect income, as because this is also indirectly income for your hospital. So let's suppose doctor takes 500 or 1000 or 2000 for lab test charges, so you have to credited, and cash will be debited with 1500 rupees. In narration you can mark uh, what kind of this charges, what kind of charges for test, so you can mention in in the narration. Next we are going to create by pressing Control C, we will create ledger x-ray charges. Sometime doctor prepares x-ray for your body, any kind of problem is coming in your body, so doctor prepare x-ray charges, x-ray test. So x-ray charges is also indirectly income for your hospital. So x-ray charges will be credited, and by pressing Control C, we will create here bank. So if patient make payment in bank, so SBI bank, you can create your bank as I show you in this video, and bank will be debited. In narration you can mention x-ray charges for what, so you can mention in detail in the narration. So this is how you can book consultancy charges, lab test charges, x-ray charges. Now whatever entry we have done here, so how you will be see and where this will be show in balance sheet. So click on balance sheet and we will open balance sheet and open profit and loss account, and here you can open indirect income. You will see all this entry will show under indirect purchase entry in Tally Prime. So first we need to create some basics ledger for recording that entry. So from gateway of Tally, click on create option and then ledger option, and from here we will create all those basics ledger. So first ledger I'm going to create of cost of medicine. Let's suppose if you need some medicines in your hospital and you purchase them, so this is going to be indirectly expenses for your hospital. So this ledger is going to be created under indirect expenses, and GST will be applicable in that case if you receive invoices. So GST will be applicable. If you are not going to receive invoice, so GST will be not applicable. Hospitals also provide foods to their patients. So next ledger we will create food supply to patient under indirect expenses. Next ledger we will create if uh, operation runs in hospitals. So equipment and operational instrument also required in hospitals. So next ledger we are going to create purchase of surgical equipment and instrument under indirect expenses, as because when hospital purchase equipment and surgical equipment and instrument, this is going to be also indirectly expenses for hospital. Save this ledger. Next ledger we will create salaries of doctors. You can create salary account department wise. So I'm going to create here salaries of doctors. If you want to create salaries of accounts department, salary of HR department, so salary of staff department. So in this way you can create salary of accounts ledger department wise. Save this ledger under indirect expenses. Next ledger we will create of, let's suppose in some special cases, in subcritical cases, if your doctor and hospital need some specialist doctor, so they can call and they can consult of special doctor, and they will have to pay for visiting special doctor. We will create consultation fee paid to specialist or to visit doctor under indirect expenses and save this ledger. So in this way we have created all those basics ledger. Now start recording entries. So from gateway of Delhi, press B, and first I'm going to show you if you purchase medicines without invoice and make payment in cash, so how you will be record this entry in Telegram. So press gateway of Tally, press B, and from the right hand side you have to select payment voucher. By pressing F2 you can change the date in which date you are going to make the payment of your cash medicinal purchase. So we are going to change the date, and from here you have to select purchase of medicines ledger. Just we have created, so cost of medicines or purchase of medicines ledger will be debited, amount will be debited. So let's suppose we have purchased 10,000 medicines in cash or without invoice, and we are going to pay by our bank, so bank ledger will be credited. In narration you can mention medicine's name, medicine's quantity, and medicine store name also. If you wish, you can mention in narration and save this ledger. Next entry we are going to pass again in payment voucher, food supplied to patient. If you supply food to patient, so you can record day wise entry. If you want to record month wise entry, so you can record. So let's suppose we supply 8,000 food patient. So food patients ledger will be debited with 8,000 and cash ledger will be credited. And in narration you can mention this is going to be paid for day wise or week wise or month wise. Next entry we are going to pass in the same voucher, payment voucher. By pressing F2 you can change the date, and from here purchase of equipment, surgical equipment. Let's suppose you have purchased some surgical equipment by case. So 7,000, let's suppose we have purchased, so 7,000 will be debited and cash will be credited. In narration you can mention surgical instrument name, equipment name. Next in same voucher we will record entry in payment voucher. By pressing F2 we will change the date, and that salaries of doctor. So if you are going to pay salary for doctor, so salary of doctors ledger will be debited and bank will be credited. So let's suppose 2 lakh salary of doctors, so we will debited salary of doctors ledger and will credited bank ledger. If you paid by bank, so bank ledger will be credited. In narration you can mention doctor name. So save this ledger. Next ledger, let's suppose in some special cases you need to consult with special doctors in special operation for special patient, so you need to uh, call the special doctor and you need to pay them. So you have to record that expenses entry like this I'm showing you in this and on the screen. So consultation fee for specialist doctors will be debited, and if you pay in cash, so cash will be credited, and if you pay by bank, so bank will be credited. Save this entry. So this is how one by one we have seen expenses, purchase expenses entry in teleprime. You have to record something like this as I show you in this video. If you want to see all this entry on balance sheet, so what will be the impact of this entry in balance sheet, so you can analyze this entry in balance sheet. Before this, I would like to show you one more entry, some lab charges which is not test in the same hospital refer to the other hospital. So this is also again going to be indirectly expenses for lab. So lab test fee charges later will be credited under indirect expenses, and this will be debited and cash ledger will be credited. So in this way you can also record test charges if hospital takes this service from other hospitals, so you can record this way. So open balance sheet and open profit and loss account and click on indirect expenses. Now you can see all those expenses showing over here as I am showing you in this video. So this is how you can record hospital expenses entry in teleprime. So in this way, if there is any other expenses will remain, so you can also record by pressing alt C. You can create a ledger and you can record entry. From the right hand side, select receipt voucher. So whatever comes in business, we book in receipt vouchers. Let's suppose hospital have some property and hospital generate income from property. So how you will be book that income? By pressing Control C, we will create a ledger. Income from property of hospital. So in this way you can create ledger's name under indirect income, as because the hospital is going to be create a generate income from hospital property. This is going to be indirectly income for hospitals. By pressing Control A, you need to save this ledger, and whatever income received from property hospital, so that amount will be credited. So let's suppose hospital generate property of hospital income 15,000. So 15,000 will be credited and they receive in bank, so bank will be debited. In narration you can mention by which property hospital has received income. By pressing Control C, you can create interest on investment. If hospital invest anything, so they receive interest, so this is also going to be indirectly income for hospital. So interest on investment, let's suppose they have received interest on investment 5,000, so 5,000 will be credited, and they receive interest in their bank, so bank will be credited. In narration you can mention on which investment they have received this interest. So in narration you can book and you can mark in detail. So by pressing Control A, save this entry. So in this way, if hospital invested anything and they receive interest, so they can book that entry, that income entry in teleprime. So by pressing Control C, we are going to create third ledger. Donation from donator. Hospital receive donation. Sometimes people donate to hospital for patients, so that is going to be also indirectly income for hospital. Let's suppose hospital receive donation from donator 5,000 or 7,000 or 2,000, so that amount will be credited, and if hospital receive in cash, so cash will be credited. If hospital receive donation in their bank, so bank will be debited, and save this ledger. By pressing Control C, you need to create consultancy charges. When patient go to hospital and they consult to the doctor and doctor charge their consultancy fee, consultancy charges. This is also indirectly income for hospital. So this ledger also again going to be created under indirect income head. So if doctor charges 500 or 2000 or 1500 their consultancy charges, so that amount will be credited and cash amount will be debited. If doctor receive consultancy charges in cash, so cash will be debited. If he receives in his bank, so bank will be debited. So next income we are going to create by pressing Control C. We will create next ledger, charges collected for operation. So whenever there is any operation, so doctor charger collection for operation theater. This is also going to be indirectly income for hospital, and whatever charges they are going to be received, so that amount will be credited and bank will be debited. In narration you can mark for which operation this amount is going to be received. So in narration detail you can mention patient name and you can mention disease name. So sometime what happen, patient makes some payment in cash and some payment in bank, so you can mark this entry something like this I'm showing you. So whatever amount you are receiving cash, so cash will be debited, and whatever amount you are going to receive in bank, so bank will be debited. In this way hospital generate income. If you want to see all this entry in balance sheet, so click on go to option and open balance sheet, and go to profit and loss account, and here you can see indirect income hospital accounting. Hello friends, this is Suman Sharma. Welcome back to my channel Suman Education Hub English. So let's get started. If you're coming first time, visiting first time, so please like, share and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. From Gateway of Delhi, we will press V, and first I will show you if you purchase medicines or if you purchase any kind of hospitals related thing without invoice, so how you will be record that entry. So let's suppose you have purchased in cash and you did not receive invoice, so you have to book that entry in journal voucher, or you can book that entry in payment voucher. First, I will show you how you will be record hospital purchase entry. So from Gateway of Delhi, press 3. From the right hand side, select purchase voucher, and you have to change mode and select item wise mode. Suppliers invoice number. After this, you have to select party ledger. If party ledger not created, by pressing Ctrl C, you can create party ledger, and by pressing Ctrl C we will create here purchase account ledger, as because this ledger is not created in our tally, so that's why we will create purchase account ledger. Under purchase account, GST will be applicable. Set alter GST detail no, and then goods. Name of item, you have to select name of item by pressing Ctrl C. If name of item not created, so you can create your stock over here. So I'm going to create medicine at the rate 18%. So under primary and units, by pressing Ctrl C, you can create units. If you purchase medicine which comes in pouch or packet or pieces or number or sachet, you can create unit. So I'm going to create pieces units. So as you can see, pieces unit you have to create something like this, and GST will be applicable. Set alter GST detail, press yes, and fill HSN code of this product. Taxability taxable, and 18% tax rate will be applied. And by pressing Ctrl C, you can save this screen. So fill quantity, how much quantity you have purchased, rate, and then taxes item. By pressing Ctrl C, we are going to create here CGST as GST ledger, as because we are going to purchase from local. So under group duties and taxes and central tax, by pressing Control C, again we are creating as GST under duties and taxes, GST and state tax. So our purchase is done. By pressing Control A, you can save this screen. If you want to see print preview of this invoice, so click on print and you can see. Let me show you in balance sheet where this entry will show you. So click on balance sheet and then we will click on current liabilities. Now you can see there is showing duties and taxes, CGST and SGST amount is showing over here. And if you want to see in sundry creditors, so in sundry creditors you will see all your creditors details over there. So this is a taxes amount which is showing over here. So this is how you can see your purchase entry will show you in balance sheet. There is a ITC available 360, but you cannot avail this ITC as because in hospitals you cannot avail ITC. So you have to adjust that taxes amount and you have to book that taxes amount as your expenses. So we will adjust that entry. So select journal voucher. By pressing Control C, we will create tax on expenses as because we are going to book as a expenses, and create under indirect expenses, GST will be not applicable. So total input amount you have to debit over here. If you want to check, so go to balance sheet and duties and taxes. Now you can see there is a 360. So 360 amount will be debited and CGST as GST will be credited with 180 rupees. So here we have pass adjustment entry for adjusting our ITC as because we cannot avail ITC of hospitals. Hospital staff salary account. So if you wish, you can enable cost center option in Tally Prime, press F11 and there is option enable cost center option. You can mark this option yes and you can use this option. So from gateway of Tally, we will press B. Here we will pass salary entry, salary payment entry. So from gateway of Tally, press B. From the right hand side, select payment voucher. By pressing F2, you can change the date in which date you are going to make the payment of salary. So salary account will be debited. So by pressing Control C, how you will be create salary account ledger under indirect expenses as because salary is indirectly expenses for your hospital. So that's why this ledger will be created under indirect expenses. Let's suppose all employees salary is 10 lakh rupees and when you press enter, so now you can see there is a cost center option will be enabled. So there is showing cost center option. So you can use this cost center option by pressing Control C. You can create your employee's name as I'm showing you. So I have created Anjali, who is director. So by pressing Control C, if you want to create group, so you can create department wise group. So if you wish, you can create. If you don't wish, so you can skip it. So let's suppose Anjali doctor salary is 2 lakh rupees and Aditya's doctor salary is again 2 lakh rupees. One by one you can create by pressing Control C your staff ledger I have created and I have shown you how you will be create your staff ledger from here. So again we are going to create current doctor salary which is 3 lakh rupees and sweeper salary is 2 lakh rupees. All sweeper salary is we are booking here month wise salary and office staff salary is 1 lakh rupees. So there is a bifurcation of all those staff, doctor, sweeper and office staff. So this is how we can get breakup of the employee's salary by using cost center and bank will be credited by in narration you can mention salary paid for the which month you are going to pay, you can mention in narration. By pressing Control A, save this entry. So this is a entry where we book salary entry for all staff in one entry. If you want to see what is the impact of balance sheet of this entry, so click on balance sheet and profit and loss account and there is a option indirect expenses. Click on this, and there you can see salary account. So you can see there is a salary account, ledger is showing. Press enter, and you can see there is a the entry we have booked. This entry is showing over here. So this is how you can book your all employees salary in just one entry.